What's going on, guys? Geek Summit checking in after years, possibly, of not making a video. I just wanted to drop in and just kind of brag a little bit. The McFarlane DC Multiverse figures came out somewhere around January 1, 2020. And obviously, they've been trickling into hands here and there. Folks been picking them up, doing reviews. I love the figure. It's an awesome figure. It's 7 inches. It's a little departure from the 6-inch DC classics and multiverse and all that stuff that came before it. But really, for that extra inch, man, you get so many opportunities to do some really great detail and really just make an awesome figure. And I knew that McFarlane was going to knock it out of the park with something special. But I really like these figures. I know a couple of folks have been like, yeah, something sucks about it. Blah, blah, blah. I deserve better. But really watching McFarlane go through their Fortnite stuff lately and really make some awesome, choices, I guess you could say, on how to handle those characters. And then, of course, watching Jazzwares put out their lower budget stuff, which I think they nearly cost about the same, don't they? But, which is kind of ridiculous. But you get some great quality in sculpting and paint quality and everything else. I mean, the heads on these, I've seen probably about 5 or 6 at retail, and I bought 4 of them. But every one of them has had an awesome face paint detail on there. No eyes walking off a little bit, or just other little things. But anyway, none of that's the point of this video. What I wanted to brag about was I finally got to it and made a fabric cape for mine. The rubber capes kind of have their place as far as like setting a tone for like a particular pose straight out of the box. I noticed the Superman animated series figure had a very sharp kind of detail to how the cape waved or wove. And it seems like it only worked for like 1 or 2 kinds of poses. The cape on this was a little bit less dramatic, but still it was a heavy rubber cape. It doesn't really flex with the figure and stuff. And it's just, it is what it is. It's an awesome piece of sculpture, as it was, but it was not an awesome feature for a figure that might be posed in several different gravity or anti-gravity type poses. So I wanted to hop in, do a fabric cape, because really it's just something that I do for a lot of my figures, especially Superman. So I hopped in and I cut a piece of fabric in a half circle, probably about 14 inches wide, I think. I might be lying. It's probably like 2 inches shorter. But cut it into a half circle, and then I've got a whole sheet of iron-on transfers that I've done for this style of Superman, a couple others that I've been working with. So I had those sized correctly, and this one is the yellow and red print, kind of like Superpowers. I'm kind of a fan of that look. The black outline on the yellow S just always strikes me as a little heavy and copyright dependent, I guess. It just kind of hits me as the generic Superman S. But anyway, also none of that important or a factor in what we're here to do. So anyway, here is my custom cape on McFarlane Superman, and as you saw, the length of it, it's about ankle length, and it pulls over the shoulders really nicely, especially if you can kind of work these butterfly joints up to kind of create a crevice for those capes to kind of behave into, I guess you'll say. I would say, because I'm the one talking. And I believe I tried to glue it at a little point behind the neck here. Something else I've done to my figure is trim the hairline back here to about mid-ear length on this figure and the animated figure. The hair on the back is so long. On the animated figure, he's almost got like a Brock Sampson mullet, which I kind of dug for a second. Then I was like, no, not on Superman. So I trimmed it off on the animated figure as well, just a little bit, and it just kind of adds a little bit of extra head tilt for those flight poses. Yeah, it exposes the workings of the neck a little bit, but that really bothers me much less than not having a Superman that can look up a more than decent amount. The weight on this cape from this material, it's a pretty light material, but it hangs so heavy to a particular scale, I guess, and it folds nicely on its own. It really just kind of hangs very nicely, I gotta say. So for flight poses, I mean, it's 100% legit and awesome. Let's see, the flight stand itself, I've messed around a little bit, just a little bit. Let's see if I just kind of pile the cape on there a little bit. Extend my selfie stick. And yeah, you can kind of see the weight and the length of it. It bunches up all nicely and neatly, and of course, you know, when you got it how you like it, you can have it however you want. I haven't done any wired capes yet because I'm still getting used to this material. In particular, it seems to be heat friendly, so I believe I'll be able to do some kind of glued hems using this some kind of tape that's almost made out of like the stringy bits of hot glue gun. When you finish, you know, using it, and you kind of get those stringy, wispy bits. It seems like this tape is made of that stuff, and it's just a solid line of it. And so you put that at the edge of your material, fold the wire over into it, iron it down real good, and it basically, you know, holds the material together seamlessly, traps your wire in there nice and clean, so you don't have threads and stuff that kind of make the scale look a little goofy. But yeah, this cape is awesome. I love just doing this. That's great. I love it. The figure itself, awesome. But I had to do the modification, of course, to just have mine with a fabric cape. And I'm sure I'm going to practice with one of the other 4 of these that I bought already. Because it's just bound to happen. Has anybody done a close-up on these figures yet? Because these things, I'm sorry, that's a great paint job right there. The hair is a little glossy. I probably could have done without that detail being so excessively glossy. I dig the metallic red on the S. But yeah, so that is my Superman with a fabric cape. I'm really digging my first result. I had practiced a little bit. I've got a couple little crusty bits of super glue under there from the first one I tried with some t-shirt material, but it just the weight wasn't very good, and so it just kind of set up a little fluffy, and I wasn't digging it. So I came back and did this with this more polyester-like material, which I think is the better choice. I'd love to see some other custom capes out there if anybody else has been messing with it. But I just wanted to see if I was the one to beat anybody to it or do the best at it. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's going to come back with a wired cape and blow us all out of the water. But yeah, great figure. And I got to say, the cape is pretty nice on there. I am digging it. And I will definitely be experimenting with more that possibly I can share with you good people. Because I know somebody else has got to be interested in having one of these on theirs. So that's it, man. This is Geek Summit checking in after a long vacation of not posting shit. So, soak it up, people. Good evening.